So the master key system. This is one of the book that anyone can ever read. It is so powerful. The master key system is so powerful. Your step-by-step guide to using the law of attraction, and it really works so well. So today we are going to look at part one of this book. It's so amazing, and I'm sure that by the end of this video, you are going to fall in love so much. You are going to fall so much in love with this book. So let's look at this book and how we can use the law of attraction to get whatever we want. It's so amazing, and once you understand it, you get to understand why it's beautiful. So let's look at the first one. Now, the first one is what? Now, so we are looking at part one, and it has been done so much that it's actually a course, and it's supposed to take you 24 weeks. So each week you take one part and you try to understand it, and it's so powerful. It's so powerful. It's so powerful. It's really powerful. It's really powerful. So let's look at the first one. So let's look at the first one, part one. Let's look at the first one. That much gather, that much gathers more is true on every plane of existence, and that loss leads to a greater loss is equally true. So now let's look at the second one. Mind is creative, and conditions, environment, and all experience in life are the result of our habitual or predominant mental attitude. Now, this is really true. Mind is creative, and conditions, environment, and all experience in life are the result of our habitual or predominant mental attitude. Now, whatever we become is as a result of what our habitual or our predominant attitude. All right, and it is true for everything. So let's look at someone who is hardworking. Now, the person is hardworking. Why is a person hardworking? It's because that is the attitude of the person. So the person's life, all right, the person's life is as a result of what? The attitude that he has, right? So let's look at the third one. The attitude of mind necessarily depends upon what we think. Therefore, the secret of all power, all achievement, and all possessions depend upon our method of thinking. And that's true. So I want us to look at this. Let's look at this. Let's look at this here. Experience. So mind is creative and no, sorry, that's the wrong lesson. So the third one. So the attitude of mind necessary depend upon what we think. So, and that is true. The attitude of mind necessarily depends upon what we think. Therefore, the secret of all power, all achievement, and all possession depend upon our method of thinking. So, whatever we could imagine, whatsoever we think, is what we become. All right. So, the attitude, the position, the thinking of the mind, how we think, how we become, is dependent on how we think or what we think. So whatever we think becomes what manifests into the physical. And that is true. All right. So the attitude of mind necessarily depends upon what we think. Therefore, the secret of all power, all achievement, and all possession depend upon what? Our method of thinking. So our method of thinking hugely dictates what we become. So let's look at someone, two individual people. One, he or she is always thankful for whatever happened, whether it's a good experience or bad experience, they are thankful. And one always finds a way to complain. Now, these are two attitudes. These are how they've programmed themselves to think. So you realize that what when circumstance, a bad experience come, one will be more grateful and one will be more sad. Now, the one that is more grateful, because now remember, as we read further, as we go deeper into this chapter, you realize that what our world, all right, the world without is the world within. All right. So you get to understand that what he or she that has programmed herself to see the good in everything is become more what productive, become more than the person that always finds a reason to complain. You understand? So our thinking, our whatever we think, how we think, our method of thinking dictates how our lives become. So let's look at the second one. Now let's look at the fourth one. This is true because we must be. This is true because we must be before we can do. Yes, we need to be. If before we can do something, we need to be. All right. Before we can become something, we need to be. Because we cannot do without being. Now, I mean, before you think of doing something, you need to what? Before you do something, you need to be. All right. You cannot, before you become rich, you need to be. You need to accept that what you are rich before you can be. All right. Because this is true. We must be before we can do. Before you can do anything. Now, most of the time, I take Elon Musk. I mean, he's doing so well. That when you look at Elon Musk and his way of thinking, now he believed that what he can achieve anything with his creativity, and that is true. All right. Imagine thinking that okay, fine, I want to create something that can lead people, that can make life multi-planetary. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. It is absolutely possible. Now, when you dream, sometimes you dream and you're flying and you think it's not possible. Everything that we see in existence, everything that we see that we touch, is as a result of someone's creativity. It's as a result of what was there in someone's mind. So remember, it was there. Now, many things that are yet to come in the next 100 years, in the next 10 years, all right, we may not have seen it, but it already exists in someone's mind. Do you understand? So before we can do, we need to be. We need to be. All right? We need to be. Now, when you find someone, you said, okay, fine, I'm going to get married to this person. The person may not know that what you are planning to get married to her. All right? But that you know because you have contemplated and said, no, based on this behavior, I need to have this person. So before you go ahead to profess your love to the person, you need to be, you have accepted it within that, oh, this is the person I want to go with. Do you understand? And let's continue. And we can do only to the extent which we are. All right. So, and we can do only to the extent which we are. Yes. And we can do only to the extent to which we are. All right. Now, your abilities, your capabilities, all right, how far you go would depend on what you have within, the ability, the capabilities that you've built. Yes. So we can do only to the extent which we are. And that is really true. That is true. All right. That is really true. Do you understand? That is really true. So that is it. That is really true. And we that is really true. That is really true. So this is crazy. This is crazy. Yes. And let's look at it. Mm. So, and we can do only to the extent which we are. And what we are depends upon what we think. And that is absolutely true. What you are depends on what you think. All right. If you think you are poor, you continue to be poor because, I mean, that is what you'll be manifesting because that's what you think you are. If you think you are rich, you continue to manifest riches because that is what you are. Now, remember, like I said, in order to manifest something into the physical, it first comes, whatever we see in the physical, first comes from the spiritual. And when I talk of the spiritual, it exists in your mind. Now, the mind is the connection between the physical and the spiritual. All right. So that's why everything that we ever saw here, I mean, it was in someone's mind. In the spiritual, it was there. Now, when you look at the Bible and you realize that what in the beginning, before whatever we see today, because the Bible let us know that in the beginning the universe or the world was void and filled with darkness. Do you understand? So whatever once there was a time ago, all right, the world was void and filled with darkness. All right. And that was when the Spirit of God was moving around the world. All right. Now let's look at something. And when God saw it, God knew what He wanted to create. So when God saw that, He said, "Let there be light," and there was light. So before the light, before this light that we saw, this light was with God because God saw it that no, I need light. So God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. The tree is the human being that we are. Because when God created everything, He said, "No, we need someone to manage what we've created." And He created, let's make someone in our own image and likeness. And then God created us. Do you understand? So before human beings, God already had, um, um, God already knew what should take dominion over the world. Do you understand? So it is very true. Right, it is very true. So what we are depends upon what we think. And you see some people, they are so giving, they are so loving, all right? They find every reason to give to the poor, to make someone happy. Because they just can't do that because that is what they are. That is what they've built within. That is their world within. So that's what they are. And you see someone struggling to just be like someone. No, because you haven't built that word within. You don't have that word within. All right. Now let's look at the fifth one. We cannot express power that we do not possess. And that is true. You can never express power that you do not possess. All right. You can never express power that you do not possess. So so let me give you an example. There was this good friend of mine. He's a business. He's the CEO and the founder of a group of company. So I realized that okay, I mean they were doing so well. They were doing this marketing. They have shops. I mean he's into real estate, into spare parts. He's into microfinance, a whole lot. Right. But when I look at the real estate and when I look at the the selling of home appliance and all that. Well, there is shop. Okay, there is shop. Okay, fine, you have shop. And I mean, they go around doing marketing. I was like, no, you see, yeah, this is true. This is good. But let's look at it. Let's go into details. About billions of people, everyone in the world nowadays, even children at the age of 9 are using phones. All right. So which means that instead of going by the traditional way, it is really good. But you can add the modern way by running ad, all right, by doing marketing, online marketing or social media marketing to reach the people directly. All right. Now I need because how? Because I knew that I have this power to influence. I have the knowledge and the know-how. All right. So you see, so I just did some social marketing, some marketing for them. And they saw the result. They were like, ooh, that is really true. And now he even wants to go into IT and learn all these skills. That is because I knew how, I mean, I would have said, no, well, you are doing so well. I mean, we have land, you are into real estate. I mean, you're a guru, but why should I tell you that this? But I knew what I possess. You understand? So we cannot express power that we do not possess. No, if I didn't have that skill, if I didn't know within that I can help them to go globally, okay, by running a marketing campaign on social media, I wouldn't have go to him. Do you understand? So we cannot express power that we do not possess. The only way by which we may secure possessions of power is to become conscious of the power. And we can never become conscious of power until we learn that all power is from within. And that is true. Now, all power is from within. And before you manifest any power, you first have to acknowledge that that power comes from within. Now, we are in a world whereby we are always looking at now I mean, we want peace, 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 and I want peace, I want peace, I want peace, I want peace. But you cannot find it. I mean, how can you find peace outside of yourself? It's humanly impossible. You first have to find that peace within. And once you find that peace within, it will manifest into the physical. All right? You need to first find the peace within. And once you find it within, you need to build the world within before what? The world outside. Because the world without is the world within. What it simply means that what? Whatever you don't have within is what you see outside. So if you're someone who is always sad, who is always sad, who is always complaining, who is always complaining, because that is the world you have built within. Even if you try to stop it, you can't, because that is the world within, and that is what you're going to manifest. That is the world within. So therefore, that is what you are going to manifest. Now, to overcome every obstacle, you first have to calm it within you. And once you are able to overcome it within you, then you can be able to overcome it outside. All right. And the only way by which you may secure possession of power is to become conscious of the power. You first have to be conscious of the power. You first have to be conscious of what you are, who you are, and what you have. You understand? I love this scripture so much. And to them that believe in Jesus Christ, he identified them as his son and gave them the Holy Spirit. Now, so when you want to go into context of this, realize that as a Christian, before, when God saved us, what he first did was that to give us an identity. So that because by that identity, you can open doors. All right, by that identity. So by that identity, he gave you the Holy Spirit. So when you understand who you are, when you understand that no, I am a son of God, God bought me through Jesus Christ, then you know that what when you want to open a certain doors, you know who your father is. When you said let there be light, you know that there is going to be light. Why? Because you know the power backing you. Do you understand? So we cannot express power that we do not possess. Never. And the only way by which we may secure possessions of power is to become conscious of the power. All right? And we can never become conscious of power until we learn that all power is from within. And that is so beautiful. All power is from within. Look at the things that you want to manifest. It is from within. You want to become rich. It is from within. You want to prosper. It is from within. All right, you want to impact the world. It is from within. You first have to impact yourself inwardly, the world within. Then it will manifest to impact the world outside. Now let's look at the sixth one. There is a world within. All right, yeah, there is a world within, and that is absolutely true. Now let's look at this. Most of the time, we are caught up with the world within than the world outside. How many times do we go out and socialize? I mean, communicating with them? Most of the time, we are caught up with our thoughts, thinking, oh, I need to make this happen. I need to make this happen. I need to make this happen. I need to do this. I need to do this. I need to do. Most of the time, about 70% of the time, we are caught up within the world within. Do you understand? And when after we are done with the world within, so once we come up from the world within, when we move, we are executing whatever we bring into manifestation is as a result of the word within. So let's look at this. There is a word within, and a word of thoughts, and feeling and power of light, life, beauty, and although invisible, its forces are mighty, and that is true. There is a word within, a word of thoughts and feelings and power, and of light and life and beauty, and although invisible, its forces are mighty. That is really true. You see, the word within is so powerful. It's so powerful that you understand. But it is really powerful until you understand, this word within. All right, because the world outside is as a result of the world within. If you like, try it. You want to build a habit, you first have to build it within. You first have to gather that momentum, that energy. And once you build that force, that is when it will manifest into the physical. It is so beautiful. Once you understand this concept, you get to appreciate what you have. You get to appreciate who you are. Whatever is within is what will manifest. So if you are someone who is full with love, if your world within is full of love, you realize that what you find it so easily, you express love so easily, you show love so easily. But if your world within is full of hatred, trust me, you don't know how. Even when you try to control that hatred, you just do it. You just act on hate based on hate so easily. So to build the world outside, you first have to build the world within. And that's why whatever you want to become in the physical, you first have to build it in the spiritual before you become it. Now let's look at the survey. The world within is governed by the mind, and that is true. And that's why our mind is so powerful, because it is the bridge between what? The physical and the spiritual. It is the same mind that bridges to God, all right, by faith. So our mind is so critical. Whatever is within is governed by this mind. And out of this mind, there is a manifestation. So let's look at, there is the world within is governed by mind. When we discover this world, we shall find a solution for every problem. And that is true. Because now let's look at the plane flying. I mean, it was as a result of someone's thinking, hey, okay, if the birds are flying, why can't you make, that's why they are weight, right? Well, that's why why can't you design something that can also fly like them? Have you seen? So the plane, it was someone's, okay, if the birds are flying, why can't we design something that also can fly? Because I mean, they are heavy. Even look at the eagle. Look at its size. Look at its weight. Yeah, it can be able to fly. So you can say that, okay, fine. I mean, because in natural terms, to realize that what things that are light that normally what, I mean, fly. So if eagle can fly, then you realize that no, I mean, the eagle is way more than um 10 kgs, but it can fly. Then there should be a system in place. What is making it to fly? Then you want to go into that. All right. So what about the world within is governed by our mind? All right. The world within is governed by our mind. And when we discover this world, we shall find solutions for every problem. So for every problem that is it, there is what a solution. And that is true. All right. When you look at someone who is so solution oriented, you think, no, this man is extraordinary. Well, he is extraordinary because inwardly he is extraordinary inwardly. He first became extraordinary within before he became extraordinary outside of himself. Yeah, because definitely it will manifest. All right. And we shall find solution for every problem, the cause for every effect. Because there is what? For every cause, there is an effect. Yes, for every cause, there's an effect. So we have, I mean, there's this popular term, cause and effect. It is true, for every cause, there's an effect. All right. And since the world within is subject to our control, all laws of power and possessions are also within our control. And I love this part. I really love this one. And since the world within is subjected to our control, now remember, everything that comes into the physical is as a result of what is in the mind, and the mind can be controlled. So, which means that whatever is outside of us, whatever we can see, we can control it. So, oh, so since the world within is subject to our control, all laws of power, possessions are also within our control. So all power, all possessions are within our control. If you want to become more powerful, it is in your control. If you want to socialize more, if there is something that you want to break free from, well, it is in your control. So you can make it happen. So let's look at something. And the world without a reflection of the world without is a reflection of the world within. So the world without is a reflection of the world within. And it is simple thing. It is easy. It is simple. The world without is a reflection of the world within. So if you are looking forward to be rich, if you are looking forward to be wealthy, and yet you are not wealthy, you are not experiencing that, then it is as a result of what is within. It's as simple. You are not rich because inwardly you are not. You are not wealthy because inwardly you are not. So the world without is a reflection of the world within. So what you have will by all means be what is there. Do you understand? So the world without. So if there is something that you are not experiencing, if there is a world that you are looking for in the world within, you are looking for it to be raised. But then in the physical, you are not. They realize that there is something wrong somewhere because inwardly you are not. That's why you are not experiencing that. That's why you are not manifesting that. All right. What appears without is what has been found within. Do you understand? What appears without, it is what has been found within. In the world, now, in the world within may be found infinite wisdom. Yeah, and that is true. Look at you within. There's what infinite wisdom because that is what God has deposited in you. You realize that some people they just speak and you realize that people are moved because they are filled with what infinite wisdom. Because in the spiritual world, in the world within, you are limitless. You can look, you can just sit here and you can just imagine yourself being in America and here you and there you are. You can just be here and see yourself enjoying all the goodness of the world. And that is true. All right. So in the world within may be found infinite wisdom, infinite power, infinite supply of all that is necessary, waiting for unfoldment, development, and expression. If we recognize these potentialities in the world within, they will take form in the world without. Do you understand? This is so beautiful. This is so beautiful. Yes. So this is so. If we recognize these potentialities in the world within, okay, they will take form in the world without. That is so. So if you acknowledge this, okay, if you are able to acknowledge all this in the world within, then they will manifest in the world without. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. All right. Harmony in the world within will be reflected in the world without by harmonious conditions. And that is true. Harmony in the world within will reflect will be reflected in the world without by harmonious with conditions. And that's true. That's why I said that if you want to find wisdom, you first have to find wisdom within. If you want to be at peace with someone, you first have to be at peace with yourself. It's as simple as that. Because you can never give what you don't have. It is humanly impossible. How can you give something that you don't have? You can only give what you have. So if you have peace within you, by always manifest peace outside you. And that is true. And that is true. All right. The harmony in the world within will be reflected in the world without by harmonious conditions, agreeable surroundings, the best of everything, right? It is the foundation of health and necessary essentials to all greatness, all power, all attainment, and all achievement and all success. Harmony in the world within means the ability to control our thoughts and to determine for ourselves how any experience is to affect us. I love this. I really love this. I really love. So this one has summarized what we need to do. Harmony within, in fact, harmony in the world within means the ability to control our thoughts. Now remember, I am the only person that can control my thoughts. I can never control your thoughts. All right, all right. I can never control your thoughts. I am the only person that can control my thoughts. You are the only person that can control your thoughts. All right, but the truth is that the harmony in the world within means the ability to control our thoughts and to determine for ourselves how any experience affects us. So, two individual people, you are the only one that can control your thoughts. I'm the only one that controls my thoughts. All right. But something happened to the same experience happened to the two of us, and someone made good use of it, and someone makes bad. Someone will be complaining, but someone sees the possibility, a good in it. It's because what if I am in harmony with my in the world within, then I can be able to control my thought. And once I can control my thought, I determine whatever happened, I determine the effect that should have on me. Some two same situation. For example, let's look at broken heart. Two people get broken heart. One say, okay, fine. Well, if I get broken heart, that's fine. I'll get another person. Or I'll find someone. Or God will send someone to me. Another person, no, I can't take it. I get it, and the person goes to hang himself and dies. Are you getting it? So harmony within, okay, harmony in the world within means the ability to control our thoughts and to determine for ourselves how any experience. Now, each and every day we encounter experience, but it is the harmony within that will determine how we allow those things to affect us. So this is so powerful. And guys, um this is the this book is the Master Key System. It is a powerful book, and if you are looking for one, you can contact me. You can contact me for yours. It's really powerful. And once you read it, and you get to understand, I mean, you get to appreciate God, you get to appreciate spirituality. It's so powerful, so amazing. So if you are looking for one, you can contact me for yours. Right, you can contact me for yours, or better still, you can go to www.shopperfect.com, go to the book session, and you can order for yours, and you will get it delivered to you. Is so powerful. It is so amazing. If you are not following me yet, make sure to do so. Thank you so much for your time. See you in the next session of this book.